Hey everybody, Eric here again. Today I want to talk about the chip shortage. And I'm not talking about chips and salsa like my wife thought. But this is big, it's going to affect everybody. Quick, please like, subscribe my channel. Hopefully this brought you some information you didn't know before and brings you value. If it does, please share it, like it, subscribe it. I appreciate it. All right, getting right into the chips and salsa, or chips say. I'm not talking about chips and dip. I'm talking about semiconductor chips. And you're like, well, I don't need a new computer, so I'm fine. And in 2021, I mean, you got to realize that, first of all, what is it? So a chip semiconductor, they've replaced everything. And I don't think people realize just how integrated they are in absolutely every piece of our life. And so you think basic things like a lamp or even an LED light bulb. He's like, don't need a chip. There are chips in there. CFL light bulbs, there's chips. Light switches, there's chips. Let's talk about some of the other bigger things that there are chips in. TVs, the lights and the cameras, the microphone stuff I'm looking at right now. Of course, the phones, tablets. Did I say TVs? Basic things that you're like, what the heck? Why do I care if there's a chip or a semiconductor in there? Then it gets even weirder and wilder. And not almost, every single car that is produced today has thousands of semiconductors in it. Everything from controlling the windows to driving down the road, regulating the engine, emissions. I mean, they are everywhere. Not just like in a Tesla where you have, everything being electronic. No, a regular gasoline, old school car, the most basic car that you can find on the road today, has thousands of chips in it. So what does this mean? And what's the shortage? How do we get here? And what's it going to impact? So how did we get here? If anybody's followed Intel, they've had a lot of bad news over the last year. Mac or Apple dropped them from producing their chips in their laptops. You've got almost a huge consolidation in the chip industry. And it's crazy because almost every chip today is made in Taiwan or China. America's almost lost its edge. I think Intel's the only pretty much chip maker that produces stuff here. And so actually almost everything is produced by this Taiwanese company that produces chips for everything. And it's because they do it cheap, they do it fast, and even American companies are like, I'll contract you to build this for me. I'll invent the technology, but we're going to contract them to build it for you. So this thing happened last year where shutdowns happened, and they were not making chips. So first of all of the chip making moved to China and Taiwan. And then the shutdown happened and the factories closed and they stopped producing chips. And there's been fluctuations of opening and closing. And then you of course they make this stuff from sand. It's called silicon. That mining stopped. I mean, the whole supply chain got disrupted, and they keep trying to reopen it and getting it back up to volume and extra volume, but it's tough. It's like trying to restart from scratch. And here we are almost a year later, and chip production still not fully to where it was, and there's a short supply. And think about it from that perspective. I talked a lot about cars. Tesla is rumored to, and I think I just got confirmation on it, they shut down their car manufacturing facility in California on Thursday because of supply and chip shortages. And there's been rumors that a lot of the other car manufacturers like Ford and Chrysler also can't get the chips / semiconductors to put in their cars, which means the assembly lines have stopped or slowed. All car manufacturers in the US have said they will not meet this year's goals because of the shortage in supply chips. They can't get them. And so now we've got this really weird situation where they're all made in one part of the world and there's no other options, and it's starting to strangle all these industries. TVs, they use these things. We talked about it. Phones, if there's a shortage in chips, which are almost in every single simple device all the way up to really intricate technologies, and they can't get them, nothing gets produced. we have a serious problem here because technology moves fast. People want their tech now, and they don't want a year or 2 year old or 3 year old phone. But if phones and everything this year, even cars, are not going to be produced like they thought it was, we're going to have some issues. TVs are going to go up in price. Lights are going to go up in price. Cars are going to go up in price. They are saying that they don't know that this is going to be resolved this year. And that means that we're going to see shortages on everywhere and everything that we deal with. Things that you wouldn't think that, hey, there's a chip in there. But they are. We are so reliant on technology today. We're in trouble. And so even the current Biden administration said, hey, danger, danger. We need to wake up and we need to allocate like $38 billion to this problem immediately because it's going to shut down industries all over the place or at least delay or constrain them. And then the big problem is we still don't really manufacture chips here anymore. What are we going to do about that? I mean, we are completely reliant on Taiwan and China for every single component in our life. I've got a note here that says, what industries is this going to affect? What industries isn't this going to affect? I mean, I'm just trying to think of anything that doesn't have a chip in it. Drywall? Lumber? It's a short list. Even smart homes, even copper internet connection, all of this stuff, they need chips, and we've got to have this, or things are going to start breaking down. So they're trying to deal with this through government executive orders. The chip manufacturers that are opening, they're allocating all kinds of money to ramp up as fast as possible, but then they're going to probably run into mining issues and things like that. You can't just turn up one knob and not expect the others to go. This is going to affect our market if it's not already. A lot of the tech sector's stocks are already starting to trend down this week. And I mean, look at Tesla. They lost a huge chunk of their market share. And that was as they were announcing, hey, we're not going to meet milestones and we're shutting down factory because of part shortages. This is going to affect the stock market. If these companies cannot produce these technologies and get them to consumers, they can't make money. And therefore, their stocks and their growth will be down. We've got a new, we've been joking about the GameStop crisis, the silver crisis, like all these crises, but this is the one that not anybody's talking a whole lot about, and it's already affecting everybody. We have a chip and technology semiconductor crisis, and it's going to feel the ripples everywhere, and you may just not be able to get a fridge. Who knows what it is? Something simple you may not be able to get and be put on a waiting list. This is big stuff, everybody. All I can say is I'm going to be watching, and I'm going to hope my TVs and stuff don't break because it's going to be a very bad time to buy it. Wow. All I can say is watch what's going on. Watch the marketplace. Watch the the supply chains. When you wonder why something's missing from the store or why you can't get that new car, or why car prices are shooting up, it's probably because the supply chain on the chips are a problem. Anyway, let's keep watching this. I'll do another video about it in a few weeks and see if it's still a problem. My gut tells me it's going to be a big problem. It's going to affect the financial markets, and it's going to affect everyday life. Thanks for watching. Put some great discussion down in the comments. If this is already affecting you, I'd love to hear about it. Please like, share, and subscribe, and have a great day, and hopefully see you in the next video. Thank you.